In the glamorous world of celebrities where everything seems perfect, there are still people who step out of the mold with their strange differences. Not only known for their extraordinary talents, some black stars also stun the public with their unique physical features, from magical, flexible bodies to mesmerizing eyes, or details that seem to only exist in science fiction movies. But behind those differences is not discrimination or inferiority, but an inspiring journey, a journey of acceptance, overcoming and turning differences into personal strengths. In today's video, let's explore 19 black celebrities with unique physical features and listen to stories that will surely change your perspective on beauty and extraordinariness. Waris Diary is a living embodiment of courage and strength. Having undergone a brutal ritual of female genital mutilation, a practice that still exists in many poor parts of Africa, she refused to let the physical and mental pain overwhelm her. Instead, Waris turned her painful past into motivation, rising to become a supermodel who confidently struts on the world's most prestigious catwalks. But what sets Waris apart is not just her beauty or fame, but her courage in telling her story to fight for other women. She is no longer silent. She is a voice against the practice, an inspiration for mothers to protect their daughters from cruel rituals. One of the most touching moments is when Waris saves a little girl from a similar fate. That girl later becomes a doctor, and her story is proof that one act of courage can change the future. The scars on Waris' body are no longer a mark of suffering, but a symbol of strength and desire for freedom. Damon Weighan's story is an inspiring example of turning a disability into a strength born with bow legs. Damon was the target of cruel taunts in the poor neighborhood where he grew up. While other kids dreamed of playing football, Damon could only stand on the sidelines and listen to cruel jokes like, "Do you need a plumber for those legs?" But instead of letting the pain consume him, he chose a different path. Damon used the things that made him laugh as comedic weapons, making people laugh, and gradually turning his difference into a signature style. One stumble during a performance became a turning point when he stood up and joked that he brought the show to the audience, causing the whole audience to burst into laughter. Since then, Damon has become not only a famous comedian, but also an inspiration. "These legs not only hold me up, but they also keep me standing when the world wants to knock me down," he said. With perseverance and belief in himself, Damon taught people that difference is not a limitation, but a strength. Joseph Williams' story is a moving testament to the power of will and passion. Born with a rare syndrome that left him without a lower jaw, Joseph was fed through a feeding tube and communicated through sign language. In a world that values speech and appearance, he was ridiculed that music is not for people who can't sing or talk. But Joseph refused to let prejudice define his life. He understood that music is emotion, a heartbeat, no words needed. Starting from zero, Joseph persevered in learning how to DJ, practicing every night to control the rhythm with his heart and strong hands. During his first performance at a small bar, he made the whole audience silent and then exploded in applause after each song. Joseph proved that music is not only created by the voice, but also by the desire to live and inspire. He became a beacon of hope for those who once thought they were not worthy to step onto the stage of life. Stan Larkin is the embodiment of a fierce life and extraordinary will. At the age of 16, a sudden stroke on the basketball court changed his life forever. Diagnosed with familial cardiomyopathy, Stan faced the harsh truth: his natural heart was no longer able to function. But instead of surrendering to fate, Stan lived for 555 days with an artificial heart in a small backpack on his back. The buzzing sound emitted by the device once made him feel like an alien, but gradually it became the rhythm of life, a symbol of his indomitable spirit. He still played sports, still pursued his passion, and always smiled. When a donor heart came to him, the successful surgery closed a challenging chapter and opened a new journey of life. Stan not only survived, but also inspired the whole world. He proved that an artificial heart cannot limit the power of a brave heart. Gabriel Estavao Monjan, the tallest man in the world from Mozambique with a height of 246 mm, not only impresses with his giant physique, but also with his strong will and journey to overcome himself. Since he was a child, Gabriel had to live with prejudice and teasing because of his difference. He used to feel lost when he could not fit into a desk or walk through a door like everyone else. But instead of giving up, Gabriel turned his unusual height into an inner strength. At the age of 22, he started participating in strength competitions where his massive body became an advantage. Despite countless obstacles, Gabriel always overcame them with extraordinary determination. He not only won in sports arenas, but also changed the way society views differences. For Gabriel, differences are not a burden, but a precious gift. He has proven that miracles will come when we believe in ourselves no matter how challenging life is. Richard Sandra, nicknamed Little Hercules, once amazed the world when he was only 6 years old and already had bulging muscles and could lift weights far beyond his body weight. But behind the image of an extraordinary child is the sad story of a lost childhood. Richard had no natural talent but had to practice rigorously every day, according to a strict schedule imposed by his father and coach. He was not allowed to play like his friends and was not allowed to live his age. When he looked in the mirror and asked himself, "Am I happy?" the strong boy felt weak for the first time. It was that question that made Richard wake up and choose to leave the professional competition path to find his missed childhood. He continued to practice, but this time for himself, not to please others. Richard's story is a reminder that true strength does not come from muscles alone, but from the courage to be true to yourself. Denzel Washington. One of Hollywood's greatest stars is not only loved for his acting talent, but also for the way he overcame his physical insecurities. His pinky finger is bent at a 45-degree angle, something that made him teased as a child and doubted when he entered the acting career. But instead of letting that flaw hold him back, Denzel turned it into his own mark. When his friends made fun of him during basketball games, he worked hard to practice and made the person who teased him acknowledge his talent. During an audition, the director once said that his finger would distract the audience, but Denzel did not give up. He proved that emotions and ability are what touch the hearts of viewers. And in a famous scene when his character points with a bent pinky, it is no longer a flaw, but a symbol of an iron will. Denzel's story is a message that flaws do not define you. It is how you face them that makes you truly strong. Caleb Matumbbo, a bodybuilder from Africa, has written an extraordinary story of inner strength and perseverance. Born with a genetic disease that left his body in constant pain and prone to exhaustion, Caleb did not let adversity stop him. When people doubted his abilities, thinking that a weak person could not lift weights or compete, Caleb still practiced silently in a small room without a coach or modern machines. He used water bottles, rice bags, and wooden chairs instead of training equipment. Every day was a battle with pain, but he never gave up. When he stepped onto the stage of the bodybuilding competition, Caleb was not a man with giant muscles, but his spirit and resilience moved the whole hall to silence with emotion. He did not win first place, but was awarded a special prize for his indomitable spirit. From a young man who was looked down upon, Caleb has become a global inspiration, reminding us that the real limit lies in the mind, not in the body. Ben Underwood, a boy from Sacramento, California, is a wonderful testament to the power of the spirit to overcome darkness. Having lost his sight at the age of 2 due to a rare disease, Ben did not let his life sink into despair. Since the age of 3, he has developed the ability to echolocate, creating a map of space by listening to the sounds around him. Thanks to this special skill, Ben has done what seemed impossible, playing basketball, cycling, and even playing video games. When asked if he was afraid of falling, Ben just smiled. Fear is natural, but overcoming it is courage. Those are not just words, but the way he lives every day. At the age of 16, Ben fought cancer but did not survive. However, his story has never faded. The boy who once lived in darkness has lit up the light of hope for millions of people. For Ben, the limit is not the body, but the faith. And he has proven true light comes from the heart. Winnie Harlow, an international model with albino skin, has turned what once made her self-conscious into a symbol of unique beauty and courage. As a child, she was shunned and ridiculed by her friends because of her different skin. She once wished she could avoid the discriminatory looks hiding the strange white patches, but then she realized being different is not a burden, but a gift from nature. From that moment, Winnie chose to love herself, even her imperfections. She entered the fashion world with rare confidence, not chasing after traditional beauty standards. During the fateful audition, the designer only needed a few minutes to say, "You are a work of art." Those words not only opened the door to Winnie's career, but also opened a new perspective on beauty. Today, she is a global inspiration. Someone who dares to be authentic, dares to be different, and turns her imperfections into an irreplaceable strength. Kudia Deop. The melanin goddess with velvety black skin was called a black hole and a devil during her childhood in Sagal. She grew up surrounded by ridicule and contempt for her appearance, which was too different. The pain made her want to leave everything behind, hoping to find a place where she was accepted. At 17, she went to Paris, carrying hope, but facing a new loneliness. All eyes were still focused on her skin, the thing that once made her want to disappear. Then one day, a photographer happened to see her crying in the park and said, "You are beautiful like a work of art." Her photos went viral, turning Kudia into a unique and powerful beauty icon. Her skin, which was once a burden, became a source of pride. On the New York catwalk, a black girl choked with gratitude. "You made me stop hating my skin color." Kudia smiled, taking her hand. "This skin does not belong to anyone. It is our strength." Troy James, a famous horror actor, possesses the ability to bend his body to extraordinary levels that amaze audiences. As a child, Troy was called Scorpion Man and Tube Boy, nicknames that made him feel different and shunned. However, instead of denying himself, he trained to master his body and turn his differences into strengths. The turning point came when he auditioned for the film Scary Stories in the Dark. Troy's haunting performance stunned the entire film crew. He didn't just play a role, he became a living horror on screen. Despite his success, Troy still wondered if he belonged only to the world of horror films. But a fan told him, "I used to be considered weird until I saw you. You made me understand that being different is what makes you special." Those words helped Troy realize uniqueness is not something to hide, but a unique light that guides us to reach ourselves. Each story is proof that being different is strength. Share your thoughts and subscribe to discover more inspiring journeys. Thanks for watching.